All right. So I've decided to start doing YouTube videos. This is a bit awkward. Yes, hello, year 7. So the reason why I've decided to do YouTube videos for geography is simply because geography is so broad. I mean, we jump from science then to the humanities sort of perspective, the English literacy, and we jump back to maths, do grid referencing and geography skills. And so it can be a bit confusing, and also, if you're away a day, we're not going to go back to it because, well, we got to keep moving forward. There's a lot to cover. If you misbehave or you're just being a bit silly in one class, you're going to miss out, and so you're going to fall further and further behind. So, anyways, so I've decided to do these. Thank you to Kamina, Marie, and Parenthea. They gave me the idea. I don't have any slime yet, Kamina. Not yet. I might put some visual, some CGI sort of slime. Anyways, so if you do have any questions, you can email me. I'm going to do this every week. This is going to be a weekly thing. I'll see how it goes, of course. If you guys say, oh, I don't get anything out of it, I already understand what we're doing, that's fine. Well, I won't bother doing it. But if you do find these useful, I'll continue doing it. Okay, so if you do have any questions, send me an email and I can read them out. If you want your name, just tell me you want your name in it, and then I can say, Andrew had a really cool question, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so for this week, I want to look at a couple of things, and that is really not very good to see. So we're looking at, this is our 5th week in geography. We've been spending a lot of time talking about landscapes. So what is a landscape? Okay, a landscape is essentially an area of land or sea, really, seascape, but in this instance we'll call it sea as well, and the landforms that are there. Okay, so let's do the Sydney. What is the Sydney landscape? Sydney landscape. So what is in Sydney? Just write landscape here. Again, landscape. So what is in the Sydney landscape? Well, you've got the Blue Mountains out west. So I'm going to draw the mountains. Can you see that? Probably not. I'm just going to draw right here. See, I'm super prepared today. So out west, this is west, north, east, south, west, and east is actually that way, but for this scenario. So out west, what landforms? And landforms are just, I'm just trying to break down this word. Landforms is just anything that was created or is going under the process of being created. So a mountain has been created, rivers have been created. So it's really broad. But anyway, so mountains. We got mountains out here. We got the Blue Mountains. There's the mountains. The next thing we have is if we go east, we hit the coast. All right, we're gonna hit the coast. You can see I'm the best drawer in the school. One of the best drawers. Better than Mr. El Haddad. I shouldn't say that too loud. Anyways, river. Then we've got a few main rivers. What are some rivers? We've got the Hawkesbury River, and it goes, now I should know this properly. It goes sort of like this. It goes from the west. Oh no, that needs to go a bit further north. It goes sort of like up here. You got the Parramatta River. I don't quite know how. I need to look on a map. Parramatta River. I'll just draw a river. And you got the Nepean River. So you got quite a few rivers in Sydney. If you keep going further north, you'll hit Newcastle. But before then, you'll hit the forests. All right, up northern Sydney, especially around Hornsby, there's a lot of forests. So I will draw a tree. I've been to Hornsby a few times. But on one particular occasion, I saw 7 kookaburras. It was awesome. And you keep going further south, you're also going to hit forest as well. Okay, so that is the landscape of. I know that looks terrible, but that's the landscape of Sydney. And so when I say landscape, and when you hear that word in geography and really anywhere, that's what it's saying. What is the landscape? All right, it just means what are the main markings or what are the main features of this place. So that's the Sydney landscape. Awesome work. Now the next thing that we've been looking at is geological, and I'm going to write that word down. Geological. So what does geological mean? How long have we got? We're 5 minutes in. I'm not going to make them 30 minutes. That's way too long. Geological. Geological. Logical. Okay, geological. That's a really big word. You can tell your parents this word. It's an awesome word. It just means, what are the rocks? Anything to do with, rocks, the Earth's crust, all that stuff. That's geological. So we've been looking at the geological movement of the planet, mostly through plate. I need to get a better marker, but plate tectonics or tectonic plates. Tectonic. So what is that? What is that? All right. So I don't have a second whiteboard, but here we go. I've got two pieces of instruments. And imagine that these are the Earth's crust, okay? Now the Earth's crust is divided. It's not this single whole piece. It's divided into pieces. You've got different plates, all right? And sometimes when they collide, they can release a lot of energy. So they can go boom. It's not going to look like that. It's, ground, so it's going to go like that, or we'll look at that more later. But anyways, so the tectonics we're talking about is underground. The Earth's surface is divided into different parts. All right, so you've got the Indian plate, you've got the Pacific plate, you've got the Eurasian plate, just to name a few. The North American plate, just if you want a fourth one. All right, so that's what we're talking about. So tectonic plates is the movement of that. What happens when they move? And sometimes, or always, they cause earthquakes. Right, so what are earthquakes? It's simply the planet moving. The planet is moving every day. Okay, it's on very small. We can't feel it. I mean, maybe if you're in Japan or somewhere like that, where they do have more tectonic activity, you will feel it. But in Australia, best country, you won't feel it. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, I'll say you won't feel anything in Australia. But anyway, so what's happening underground is two plates are colliding. Two plates are colliding, and there's three different kinds of collisions or movements. All right, and they are divergent. I'm just going to write them down first. So there's divergent, then there's convergent, and then there is subduction. Now we haven't looked really at divergent and convergent, so I'm just going to talk about subduction actually today. Now we watched a video, if you remember in class, about the North American plate and how before, according to scientists, before the Pacific plate and the North American plate were together, there was another plate called the Fallon. Up here, the Fallon plate. All right, there. This is according to scientists, the Fallon plate. Okay, and that was a subduction because one of them was heavier than the other, and so the heavier one sank. Okay, just like if you put dirt in your water, it's going to sink because dirt is heavier than water. But if you add oil to your water, what happens? It is above it because it weighs less. And this is the same sort of idea, is about weight. So subduction is caused when two different plates that are of different weights, or different mass, I should say. It's a sciencey thing. Mass, talk about mass, not weight. Yeah, and that's all we need to learn about today. That creates these big trenches as well, and they can also create mountains, big oceanic trenches. I can't spell trenches right now. So like the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, the deepest part of this ocean. And I'm going to ask you that next sometime this week. Alright, the last thing I want to talk to you about is geography skills. Now you might be wondering, so why do we have to do geography skills? You know, we just go onto Google and just everything is there. Well, the reason is because we use a lot of geography skills without even knowing. For example, take Fortnite. Now, I know quite a few of you guys play Fortnite. I play a bit of Fortnite myself, and we learn about our surroundings better. All right, so you can look out at the Blue Mountains and go, oh, look at the elevation. I'm not going to climb down there because it's not very safe. But also, you can look at a map, and this is the really cool part of geography. I'll give you an example. I was in China. I was in a beautiful national park, the Avatar Mountains. Google that, or Zhangjiajie, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong. Anyways, I saw this map, all right, and I knew exactly where to go from understanding how to read that map. I knew that I had to walk down 3,000 steps. It was an awesome trip. 3,000 steps. Not one for 1 second was I concerned that I was lost. My wife was, but I wasn't because I studied geography. I'm the cool one. All right. So geography skills are really important, and we looked at area referencing and grid referencing. All right. And we're going to look more at that later. So I'm not going to spend time on it now because I don't want my video to go for too long. I'm probably making some people fall asleep. So if you are falling asleep, time to wake up. That is finished. All right. Now, if you have any questions for next week, email me and it'll be right. All right. Thank you, guys.